If you're watching this video after the Cancun room tour, I am so sorry. I know I promised a in-depth video of everything you need to know when traveling out of the country, specifically to Cancun during the pandemic, a safety video on that, and it's still coming. Now, if you didn't know, I'm a pre-nursing student trying to pass my classes, all while working full time. Yes, so I'm going through a really interesting transition in life right now. So if you could please bear with me, I promise it's definitely something you want to tune into and see if you plan on traveling to Cancun soon, or if you've already been but you just want to see another perspective on or what I took or what I did, or if there's anything about that interests you. Again, I'm so sorry, and I have not forgotten about it, and I still plan to do it very soon. But let's jump into today's video. Hello kings and queens, welcome back to the Kingdom of Creativity. Today is going to be the first impromptu video of Bible lessons. I was reading my Bible today. If you didn't know, I am a Christian. I was reading my Bible today, and I'm going to try my best not to spin around in this chair. It's an office chair, so it may be hard for me. I was reading Genesis about Jacob, Leah, and Rachel. So today I'm going to be reading from the King James Version of the Bible, and I'm actually going to start at Genesis chapter 9, and I'm going to start at I'm going to start at verse 7. So I'm going to be reading from Genesis chapter 29, starting at verse 7. So it says,
And he said, Lo, it was yet high day, neither it is time that the cattle should be gathered. Water ye the sheep, and go and feed them. And they said, We cannot, until all the flocks be gathered together, until they roll the stone from the well's mouth. Then we water the sheep. And while yet spake with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she kept them. She was a shepherd. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel the daughter of Laban his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the flock of Laban his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachel, and lifted up his voice and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother, and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son, he ran to meet him, and embraced him, and kissed him, and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all the things that had happened. And Laban said unto him, Surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode him with the space of a mouth.
So I want to start here. The first lesson is, if you notice, Laban told Jacob, he said, Surely you are my bone and flesh, after Jacob had told Laban all the things that had happened. And if you're not familiar with the biblical story, basically, Jacob had an older brother named Esau, who was supposed to get the birthright from his father Isaac. And the day that Esau was actually supposed to get the blessing from his father, as he was out hunting, Jacob and his mother came up with a plot to take Esau's birthright. And so that's what they did. And so this is where we are now. So he had to flee. And I think it's just interesting that Jacob said that Laban, Rachel and Leah's father, has said to Jacob, we must be some kin, because that's something I would do. So he did some shady stuff too. It turned back around on him, because Laban was just like him in a sense. Laban was just like the immature version of Jacob. Now Jacob did man up, and he did really turn his life around and give his heart over to the Lord. And I just wanted to tell you, don't give up, but just know, maybe doing someone wrong, or maybe even unintentionally, that if you've done someone this way, or if you're doing someone this way, it's gonna come back to you. You're not gonna get away with it. Especially a person who loves the Lord and who has pure intentions. So you can learn a lesson, and so you can move forward, and so you can be blessed. And that's exactly what happened to Jacob. He tricked his father he tricked his father into giving him his brother's birthright. Then Laban tricked him and took the thing that he wanted the most as well. So he experienced that same type of hurt, that same type of pain that he had put his brother through. Don't give up, because Jacob did turn his life over to the Lord and his heart over to the Lord, and he gave up his ways of tricking people, and he learned his lesson in the ways that he was hurt. And he essentially lost. He didn't lose, but that's kind of what it seems like. It's kind of what I got from what that said. So let's keep going.
And Laban said to him, I just read that. And Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, that's important, and the name of the younger was Rachel. So Leah was tender-eyed, meaning, it says Leah was tender-eyed, and Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob loved Rachel, and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. And Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to any other man. Abide with me. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had to her. And Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him. And he went into her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for handmaid. And it came to morning that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said unto Laban, what is it? What is this thou hast done to me? Did I not serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? And Laban said, it must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn. See the trickery? It's come back to him. That's also important. Fulfill her week, and we will give this also for the service which thou shalt serve with me yet another 7 years for Rachel. And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week, and he gave him Rachel, his daughter, to wife also. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah, his handmaid, to be her maid. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet another 7 years. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. And Leah conceived, and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben, for she said, surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me. And now she conceived again, and bare a son, and said, because the Lord hath heard that I was hated, he hath therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon. And she conceived again, and bare a son, and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have bore him 3 sons. Therefore his name was called Levi. And she conceived again, and bare a son, and she said, now I will praise the Lord. This is important. This is the part right here. And she conceived again. This time she said, now will I praise the Lord. Therefore she called his name Judah, and left bearing.
So I'm gonna stop there. The next chapter, it goes on to Genesis chapter 30, and I highly encourage any of you to read the chapters on your own, whatever version you prefer to read it in. Honestly, I like the New Living Translation, but I did go ahead and read in the King James Version today. So the lesson here, or the lesson that I gained, many people can gain many different lessons from reading the Bible, or you yourself can gain different lessons each time you read it. And this time, the message that I wanted to share, or the lesson that I got from this Bible reading, was love who loves you. What do I mean by that? In the end, Jacob loved Rachel more because she was beautiful to the eye. But Leah loved him. Leah really loved him. All she wanted was his love. All she wanted to do was serve her husband. That was her goal in her wifely duties. And you never really hear about Rachel's love for her husband. You always hear about Jacob's love for Rachel. And Jacob really missed out on the love of his life because Leah loved him more. Leah served him. Leah was a godly woman. She realized that all of her provisions came from the Lord. And when she had enough, and when she had seen enough, she realized the Lord is my husband maker. It says it in the Bible. I will put the I'll put the verse right here. She realized it's not about man. He can't really give me anything. It is God who gave me my sons. It is God who has blessed me. I would say if a young man is watching this, don't entertain young ladies on the internet or on social media, especially if or when you don't have any real intentions of doing anything right by them. Don't do that, because you're gonna have to pay for it. Don't know where they really are or what they're really struggling with. Now, in my case, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's not a lot of people who will recognize that you're doing them wrong and be the bigger person, be the mature person, and say, you know what, I'm gonna step back. Even though this person is doing me wrong, I'm gonna step back and remove myself from the situation so they're not blocking their blessings even further. I'm gonna step back and remove myself from the situation for their sake. There's not a lot of people that would do that. That's what I did in my situation. This just made me reflect on my own life, because I said, I don't know, she's not the prettiest, or she's not my favorite right now. I think that was the thing and the situation that happened with me. And why would I be? I'm not doing... Anyways, I feel like Leah in the sense that I've been overlooked in a lot of ways, but also in a lot of ways, I've been very blessed. I don't even know if I should say that. All of the people that have played me. Now, don't get it twisted. Christian girls, we're not dumb. We still know game, and we still know better, but we just choose to behave differently and give you a different grace. So in this case, I've been overlooked. I've felt unbeautiful. I've felt unwanted. But God has blessed me abundantly. So I just want to encourage you not to give up. And honestly, you guys, I'm in college. I have a car. I don't yet have my own place, but almost everything I have, I own to my name. I don't have a single debt to my name. I have everything I want. I have things I didn't know I wanted. I have so much. I'm so thankful. I'm so blessed. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, God will give you the desires of your heart. Even the things that you thought you wanted and that you thought you could satisfy you, He'll give you those things. And you will, at the end of the day, like Leah saw, even though she was happy for her kids, she was grateful. She asked for them. And she was honoring God and asking for her marriage to be blessed with children. But even after all of that, after I've received all these things, and I am so abundantly blessed, now I just don't want anything else. I don't need that man. I don't need that friendship. I don't need that relationship. I don't desire or seek the things that are worldly and don't want me. And it's okay. Now I will praise the Lord, and I will be blessed, and I have been blessed. And if someone is watching this, who you're talking to someone and who loved you more than you love them, whether it be a friend, whether it be a husband or a wife, whatever it may be. If there's someone who loves you more than you love them, appreciate them. Cherish them. Thank God for them. I also just wanted to say that you never know where you'll be. You know where you are today, but you don't know where you'll be. Don't ever look down on anyone for what they look like, for their situation, for their finances, because you know where you are today, but you don't know where you'll be. And you know where they are today, but you don't know where they'll be. For instance, obviously when you're talking to someone or trying to form friendship or something with someone or just getting to know someone, they're going to notice things about you that you can't always hide. Sometimes you can try, but eventually that person is going to notice. And that's God's will. Don't feel bad, because if in this season you're suffering from if you have a bad skin, or you don't have the best hair, or your fashion sense isn't there, or maybe you're insecure about something, don't feel bad, because God will elevate you for that person to see. In his word, he says, he prepareth a table before me in the presence of my enemies. So don't be discouraged, because they will get to see you be elevated because of him, and they will know it was God who did it. You may be overlooked at times. You may feel overshadowed. You may feel unloved or unbeautiful. If you are Leah, sit back and say, I will praise the Lord. Know he will bless you abundantly. And the people who don't recognize that, it's okay. They have their own struggles that they will have to deal with. And just know, God will always be glorified, and all things work for the good of those who love the Lord. Do not get weary in well-doing. So I hope this message encouraged you. I thank you, Kings and Kings, for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I would really enjoy to have you here and be a part of my family. And I hope you have a blessed day, and I thank you for watching.